Welcome, I'm Katie and this is a fountain pen awakening. Hope that wherever you are in the world you're doing super well. I know we're living through some scary times at the moment, and my prayer goes out to the families who have lost loved ones, to the people who are missing their loved ones, and for the peaceful resolution of their conflict, because it needs to be stopped. We need to be calling for peace and we need to be calling for de-escalation, and not political leaders baying for blood. It's ridiculous. And luckily enough, to distract me, this parcel has arrived. I did mention in one of my videos that I did order some more inks. I did mention that I love Hisoku so much, which is a Kyo No Oto ink, so I thought I'd just buy myself a bottle. And then I got myself the soft smell of Ohara, and I also did get myself the cherry blossom. So this is another Kyo era ink that's never been available, and that's the Kyo No Oto Hisoku. It's never been available to test out, unfortunately, so I just got it as a bottle. I thought, you know what, I really love these Kyo era inks. They write so well. They're fantastic shaders. I've tried the Stone Road of Gion. I've tried the Moonlight of Higashiyama. I've tested some of the other ones, the Kyo No Oto ones, and I just find them to be excellent writers. The only one that I had a little bit of trouble with is the Hisoku, because it's a little bit dry, but now I've resolved that by putting it in this pen, which writes a little bit wetter, and now it's all honky-dory. Now, I also got myself one of these because, oh, it's tiny. Didn't realize it was so tiny. Does it not have a stand? Oh, okay. I thought it had a stand. Anyway, I got one of these because it's just sometimes easier to put your pen in rather than, you know, trying to get them out of the little sample vials, I find. Especially with the vacuum fillers, I find it hard to kind of, you know, dip them right into the ink so it can suck them up. Otherwise, they don't work. So I got myself that. And then with the Desk Bandit, they send you a Tim Tam, which is a Australian cookie. And then I said to them if they wanted to send me some inks so that I can swatch them for you, some brands that you might not know. I just said, just send me some little Bobby samples. So they've sent me PENBBS, Grieige, ooh dear me. Then they've sent me Color Traveler, Ordo Baby, Sardines Grieige, and then Moonman, oh, Jade pipes. Oh, that's super exciting. There you go, thanks Desk Bandit. Desk Bandit is a Australian retailer. They're situated over in Western Australia. They have a great website. They ship internationally. If you spend over 300 Australian dollars, which I think would be about 200 US dollars, you get free international shipping. They've got a lot of interesting inks. So they've got, you know, these Korean and Japanese inks that you might not find online readily. And they also, which is great, they just sell you, you know, the little samples of every single ink that they sell. So I find that that's awesome. And I kind of use them a lot because they have all these wonderful and weird inks. All right, so I'm so curious to see what this looks like swatched. But let's get to it. So I guess these are a perfect example of why you do need one of these. I didn't realize it didn't come with a little stand, so I put it in there. It's because obviously you can't get your little pens in there, your dip pen. You just pour the whole thing in here and then you can get to it, which is super good. Let's start off with, this is Color Traveler. Never heard of Color Traveler? So that's the ink brand. And this is really cool because you get to discover, you know, new ink brands as well. So, sorry, I just have to see Traveler. Ordo, baby. And as we can see, it's kind of like grey, hence the Sardines. Sardine grey. Or Grieige. Sardine Grieige. It's actually not a bad grey at all. I actually really like it. Because it's kind of like a pale grey. Kind of reminds me of the Lamy one, but I found that the Lamy grey was like super dry. The only one out of the Lamy Crystal series that I couldn't use because it was really super dry. That's a beautiful grey actually, a really delicate silver grey. And this oak book that I use has got Tomorrow River paper on it. It's the 52 GMS. And then I'm going to swatch it on one of the Warringal Smile Cat swatch cards as well, just for my own records. It's a super windy day here today, so if you hear these noises, it's just the wind in the leaves. Then you will hear the traffic. You haven't heard my neighbours. I think they're out today, which is super awesome. Famous last words. Alright, so this is Sardines. Sardines Grieige. Oh, hang on, I might have spoken too soon. There you go. See? I did, didn't I? Traveler. Ordo, baby. Cute. Alright, I had a bit of an accident and the ink dropped on the page because it fell through the hole, didn't it? In my little ink miser. So, I love the way the little Cheshire cat smile comes out. This looks to be a very dark kind of grey. And this is a PENBBS ink. PENBBS makes some really interesting pens. Unfortunately, the ones I like are all sold out on the Desk Bandit's website. I don't know if they're going to restock them. So this has got this Chinese. Oh, here we go. See, I told. Oh, the neighbours, they're not here. Also, these swatch cards, all the Warringal swatch cards. That's where I got that stationery from the Desk Bandit. I have all notepads and all different swatch cards as well. I have the little binders that you can put them in. So let's try and write it down here as I should. I mean, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce this, guys. But as we can see, it's a very kind of dark grey. Alright. This one here is a Moonman. A Moonman inky. Very interesting. Never tried a Moonman ink. Didn't even know they did inks. The Moonman obviously being Majohn. Previous Moonman. Oh, that's really nice. Oh, I don't mind that at all. That's gorgeous. Jade. That's actually really beautiful. So these three little samples that I'm swatching now are the ones that Desk Bandit sent me for me to swatch for them. Now, I would have obviously never picked greys because I'm not a grey person. So this is also very interesting when you allow someone else to make some choices for you, because you discover colors that you wouldn't otherwise discover. So Moonman, now Majohn, and this is called Jade Pipes. Wow, I really like it. That's super pretty. So I'm using my pens, the Iro Utsushi. These cards here, if you want to know, they're 200 GMM. Beautiful. I like that. I like that very much. So this is the Moonman. It's actually a right up my alley green. That's what that is. Excellent. Alrighty. So those three are the ones that have been given to me to test out. So this is kind of like a dark grey, or mid grey I should say. Does have some sheen in there, a little bit of sheen in there. That kind of has a little bit of pink in there. Lots of shading. This has, looks like a little bit of copper in there. Nice. So my next really new one, which is Kyo Iro Cherry Blossoms of Keage. Now I have never seen this one, like I only saw it on the website. I haven't been able to actually swatch it, so this is super exciting for me. Oh wow. I feel this is very similar to the Robert Oster, the cherry blossom that I got from him directly, my mate. Robert Oster. Classic. It's quite similar. So we will do a comparison in a minute once I've done this. And once I've let it dry, a nice kind of shade of pink. That makes sense, does it? I can't speak today, people. I'm incapacitated. Cherry Blossom. Is it Cherry Blossoms of Kyo? Cherry Blossom. Cherry Blossom of Keage. This is Kyo Iro ink, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's kind of similar to this one that's got on the title card there. So I'm glad I gambled and got a bottle of it, because I do really think it's pretty. So Kyo Iro, I mean, I can pretty much gamble on the Kyo Iro inks because I think they are very good inks. So I'd rather have the bottles because I don't know how long they're going to be around. They're kind of like a special edition ink, I guess. It's a collaboration, and they're made specifically for, well, now I can't remember. It's a stationery company of Kyoto. Anyhow, I'll link the information below because I can't remember now off the top of my head. So because I love Soft Snow of Ohara so much, I wanted to ensure that I had a bottle of that. I've just ordered the sample like 3 times. So I thought I'll get a bottle, and then I have made sure that I love the Hisoku, so I got a bottle of that. I was umming and ahhing about getting myself the Stone Road of Gion, which is kind of a grey beige, a grey brown, kind of like the colour of stone or pebbles. But you know, it's pretty, but I'm not like someone who's going to write a lot with greys, so I have to kind of like, you know, really ensure that if I'm going to be investing money in a bottle of ink, it's going to be an ink that I love, that I'm going to use, that I'm going to write with. Otherwise there's no point. You know, I made that mistake before of buying bottles and then I don't use them because I don't love them as much as I thought I'd love them. So I have to kind of continuously force myself to use them every now and again. I have shown these before, what we will do is I will do a quick swatching for you. Now these packaging is beautiful paper made in Kyoto, Japan. Oh, Tag Stationery. There you go. It was on the box, Kate. So it's made for Tag Stationery in collaboration with a very traditional way of making inks in Japan. And these places are places around Kyoto. And this is why they've named, you know, Cherry Blossom of Keage, for instance, is a place where you go watch the cherry blossoms, I guess. Okay, so this one here is my fave. One of my faves anyway. And it's already been swatched, so I don't need to do a swatch card for it. Just doing a quick swatching for you guys who have never watched my channel. So I thank you in advance for watching, for liking. I thank everybody who's subscribed so far. We're going to maybe smash it out to 500 this month, which would be my hope. Purple is just so pretty. It's just such a fantastic writer. This ink is just beautiful to write with. In any pen, just really, really like it. Ooh, everything's going to blow away. Even my candle's blown out. It's just super, super windy. And I just love the poetic names of these inks. Soft Snow of Ohara. I mean, you know, who does that? Only the Japanese. And the Chinese, I guess, too. They give the inks really interesting names. So my dip pen has a medium nib. And I do have this ink inked up. So I will show you my pen. And this has got a fine nib, but it's a number 6 nib. It's a beautiful shader, this ink too. I love the way it shades when it dries. It's just gorgeous. Very, very smooth. Writes super well. So that's my Kyo No Oto ink, the Soft Snow of Ohara. Again, I do have my other fave ink at the moment, which is Hisoku. Now this is a Kyo No Oto ink. Again, it's an ink I made for Tag Stationery. And I have this ink up too. Right, so let's show you this beautiful ink. I love this ink. I really, really love this ink. I think it's a beautiful colour. And this is a beautiful shader too when it dries. When you write with it. I love these bottles too. Number 7. He's so cool. I think all my swatch cards have been blown somewhere. Oh, here they are. This here is Kyo No Oto, number 7. Hisoku. Beautiful. Blue-green, I guess. And this is in my Benu, Brio, or Brûlée, or Brûlette. And this has a medium nib on it. So I've given them a moment to dry, and I've gone and got my swatch book just to compare the Robert Oster Cherry Blossom with this cherry blossom, but this one is definitely a lot brighter. So it's kind of not subdued and dusky like the Robert Oster Cherry Blossom. This is definitely a lot brighter. It's kind of very similar to Ruby Red, the Crystal Lamy series. This Jade Pipes here is very similar to my copper pattern from Troublemaker. Sorry, the wind. Yeah. Kind of the lighter side of it more than the darker side. And this is a shimmer ink too, so. A little bit comparable to the Salad and Cat from Diamine as well. I mean the lighter bits of it. It's got more green in it. Now the greys, this is a bit comparable to Yurameku Seki, Sailor ink, just a little bit more. Obviously, it writes lighter. And this is a chroma shading ink. It sort of has some pinks in it, pinks and greens and greys. This is a little bit similar. And then I've got this PENBBS ink, which is the 436. And that kind of reminds me of maybe the Federation Peak ink, Van Diemen's ink, but that's very dark. So it's kind of a mid-grey ink. It's not too dark of an ink when you write with it. This is more a dove grey. This is more a dark grey. Sorry guys, I realised I was out of frame with the greys. I was just sort of doing a quick comparison with this one with the Uramekuseki and this one here with my Federation Peak. And then I just want to lift this up to the camera and show you how this does have a little bit of pink and grey in there, and this does have sheen in there. So there's kind of like this dark blue sheen in that grey, and that's the shading in these three inks. So there you have it, my small mini haul with these new bottles of ink that I have bought from Desk Bandit. Check them out. They have lots of weird and wonderful inks that you can try out and some nice pens. Also, you all get a little Tim Tam, which is always so nice to receive. Tell me what you think of the Desk Bandit. They have really good prices too. They try to keep their prices down. So, you know, they might not have great sales or anything like that, but that's so they don't mark up their prices, so they can give you a fair price on the actual inks and the pens and stationery that they sell. Alrighty, on that note, I've rambled enough, and until my next one, ciao Mandy!